VSA Wisconsin is an organization that has been around for 33 years. Our mission is to serve people with disabilities, all people with disabilities, whether it be adults, children, through the arts. We continue to impact people daily through our art center on the north side of Madison. We are constantly trying to be an advocate for people with disabilities. But this is an organization that Jean Kennedy Smith founded in the early 70s due to her sister Rosemary having intellectual disabilities, and she was right here in Wisconsin at St. Coletta. This organization in Wisconsin is far-reaching. We are as far as Wausau. We are in Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, Milwaukee, and of course we have a great presence in the Madison-Dane County area. So really proud of the work we're doing here. We see, being new to the organization and having a new staff, we are really truly excited about the potential of continuing this great mission in the programs that we conduct throughout the state. On an average, we serve about 3,000 people a year through our art center, through our programming, through great events like at Promega in Fitchburg right now. We want to continue to have that impact. We see a lot of need for children and people with adult disabilities to be creative and be able to be impactful with that process. Be amongst people that love the arts, that are passionate about people with disabilities. And today you saw one of our wonderful artists, our premier artist, John Wass, who is not only a phenomenal artist, but he's an incredible human being. And we're just honored to be able to promote his work with people like himself, and continue the mission.
Maybe in middle school I thought I had, just from all the kids in school telling me things, when I would be in art class. And then I just loved to draw all the time, and people would constantly comment on it. And I thought I must have something, that people like, so I must be good. But I never thought so. I like to master the different mediums. That's my main goal when I try something different, is to try and really understand how it works and to control it how it should be controlled for that medium. So when I was younger, I just liked to draw everything out of books and, those little kids drawing books. And then seeing Bob Ross and Vicky Payne on TV doing oil and glass every Saturday, I really wanted to try those things eventually. I was mesmerized by both processes. So eventually I did get to try them both, and now I do them all the time. Every time I do it, something gets a little bit better. So that's a whole lifetime of experience so far, I would say, to be able to pull off certain types of realism. It's really no different than a doctor having the need to want to make his patients better, or, a teacher wanting to make their students smarter. I just want to make visually things better, and I see that as a certain type of beauty or harmony in things. And I think that comes out of a sense of knowing how hard life can be, but also knowing how beautiful and worth it can be too, and we should focus on what we can control and what's good, and not negativity and things we can't control anyway. So
what we're doing here is displaying the newest and probably the best ever Bubblemobile in a long line, really a 40-year line of Bubblemobiles. So I have been blowing bubbles from a moving car for almost 40 years now, and it all started at the Willy Street Fair, a fair that ties into this event because this event is here to honor Mona Webb. And Mona, who lived on Willy Street for many decades, really was one of the founders of the fair. And not only was she a founder of the fair, but I found her to be inspirational in her ability to create art and generate in me and other people the courage to create our own art. In the middle of it is this stack made out of a number of found parts or given parts, a couple beautiful brass Kohler water spigots or water spouts that have been turned upside down. Welded onto them are these two balls with, which I call the heliometers, giving us readings for the helium pressures. Here, there is helium in the trunk in each of these knobs, control the flow of compressed helium into one of the two sousaphones. There's a sousaphone on either side. As I open this valve up, you might be able to see the bubbles start to come out. And when they do break loose, they float because they're filled with helium. And then over my head is the bubble funnel, and that has two electric bubble blowers in it that are running off a second car battery located in the trunk of the car through a power inverter. So they blow bubbles by the thousands. So those are two separate systems, the compressed helium system and the electric system. But the third system, I think, is really my favorite because I get to work that, and that's me. I just think the world's a better place with more bubbles in it. But the fact is that everyone is interested in bubbles. Everybody likes bubbles. Every single person, I believe, likes bubbles. This car passes through the parade. Every single eye turns to it, and every single person smiles for the fascination of looking at bubbles for however long it amuses them. So it's a universal appealing thing. I've never seen a crowd not respond to the Bubblemobile. Art can be moving in other ways. Of course, we need art that has that brings out other qualities in us. But this particular piece of rolling art is designed to bring out just the joy in people, just the laughter, just the fun of that bubbles bring into our lives.